when you look back, we had the Jets in Lambeau.
Yeah.
I had the Jets sideline in Lambeau.
What a moment.
What a moment. And to think of where the season ended up from that pinnacle is tough.
Yeah.
But when you take a step back and you look at the overall growth, I mean, there's a lot to be excited about, obviously, when you look at the young talent on the roster.
Well, I think that they built how you would want a team in the NFL, in today's NFL, to be built, where you have the strong defense and the strong running game. And I think, kudos to Douglas and his staff, Robert Saleh, for developing the talent, for them to hit so highly so quickly. I think, we always say, look 3-4 years down the line at a draft, and you hope you have that production. But with, Sauce and the way Breece Hall came on, and, just they exploded onto the scene and become major contributors, in Sauce's case, a Pro Bowler.
It was just the way the team building process has gone over the last couple of years. It kind of made sense that they did make this leap forward. I think one of the biggest moves, I know Sauce Gardner gets a ton of credit and all that stuff, but from a process standpoint, they picked him at number 4 overall. That doesn't always happen. But at PFF, we see a lot of numbers that say, look, you want to have a good defensive line, but if you build from back to front, if you build in that secondary, that's when you take the big leap. And Sauce Gardner was a big part of that. So I think that's a huge part. Adding in DJ Reed, I think they systematically built that defense, and they didn't neglect corner over the last couple of years, but they didn't get to it yet. And I think last year they got to corner, right? They got the draft pick in Sauce. They bring in DJ Reed, and that was what the big step was. Health up front, of course, Quinnen Williams taking that next step forward. So it made sense to me. I wasn't predicting it necessarily, but the way the team had been built, it makes sense that they took that big leap as a defense.
The Jets would have 2 Offensive Rookie of the Year candidates. Breece Hall hadn't blown his knee out, had Elijah Vera Tucker not blown his arm out. And, the Jets, I think, would have made the playoffs. It's everyone has injuries. I understand that. The Jets had particularly tough ones to take. I love the coach, love the defense, love some of these playmakers that they have on offense.
You can't always go 12 plays in the NFL. Something bad's going to happen. And that's where Breece Hall and Garrett Wilson are special. They're game changers that way. And gosh, you can even add, Michael Carter, his ability to find explosive plays. Elijah Moore, I think, has that ability. So this is a young team. When I tell all my Jets friends, I just was like, everything is great. Okay, the quarterback thing isn't perfect. But damn, I mean, your team we didn't expect them to be as good as they were this year. They're young. There is something to learning to win in the NFL and figuring out the finer details and what it takes there. And I think they got a little bit of a crash course in that this year.